Rev up your engines!
J.C. McMurray says, Scotty, what do you think of a 2008 BMW 528i, and when are you getting your TV show? I used to have a show on CBS called Crank It Up with Scotty. I'll never go back to TV. TV's a dying medium. This is YouTube. This is the future. The internet. Actual interactivity. You're talking to me. I'm giving answers. Anybody with a phone on the planet, I guess, unless you're in China where they got it banned and you can't watch YouTube, can ask me questions, can learn about cars. Television, dying medium, controlled by people who don't know what they're doing. They're living 20, 30 years in the past. They still think they're going to go with their little advertisements and stuff, but it's dying fast. The internet's the place to be. Now, as for a 2008 BMW 528i, those things are money pits when they're that old. But that said, you can get them dirt cheap. They have no resale value. And if you can get one cheap and you want a weekend toy for tootling around, I got a customer with one. He bought one used for like $4,000, and he likes it. He drives it around. He only uses it on the weekend. He uses a Honda Civic in the regular traffic when he goes back and forth to work. So if you want to do that, but don't pay much for it, because they're not worth anything anymore. Rusty Dog says, hey, Scotty, help me fix my Audi. It's killing me. I'll give you the best fix for an Audi. Sell the thing, get rid of it, and get a Toyota or a Honda, and then you'll be happy. Those things are endless money pits. When I was a young mechanic, started bringing them in the United States. Guy brought us one. He needed a fan belt changed. And in order to change the fan belt, you had to jack the engine up in the air and remove the motor mount to replace the fan belt. Even back then I thought, what kind of a moron designed these cars? And now, whew, that's nothing compared to the crap that those things have them on these days. They're endless money pits. They break as they age. Check their insanely low resale value. They're worth nothing as they age because everybody knows they're junk and they cost too much to fix and they break all the time. If you can find an honest mechanic like me, have him look at the car, tell you what he thinks. And if he says, maybe you can fix this for a few hundred, then sell it, do that. And if it's going to cost too much to fix it, just get rid of it. You're going to lose money any way you look at it, but then you don't have to think about it anymore when you get rid of the piece of junk. SRL says, should I use a hose to clean my engine bay? Personally, I'd never waste my time even cleaning it. Well, you don't live under there. You don't eat under there. You don't have a picnic under there. And if you start hosing down in an engine, there's so much electronics on a modern day car. Now, when I was a young mechanic, that wasn't the case. When I was a young mechanic, they had carburetors and they had an ignition distributor. If you covered up the carburetor in an ignition distributor with a plastic bag, you could hose away to your heart's content. You weren't going to hurt anything. But modern cars, you can ruin so much electronics. Don't even waste your time. There's no reason to clean an engine bay. Doesn't matter if it's dirty. The engine doesn't care. They're all water-cooled engines. Your radiator cools the engine so it doesn't overheat. Now, if you have an old Volkswagen Beetle with a rear engine and it's an air-cooled engine, yeah, you want to clean the fins every once in a while because that's where the heat's dissipated, on the fins on the engine, on the cylinder heads. But all modern cars are water-cooled, and the only thing you need clean is the radiator. You got mud and bugs on your radiator? Yeah, clean them with a hose, but don't waste your time under the hood. Ryan Graham, what's your opinion on a 2018 Honda Civic Type R? They're fun vehicles. I've got a few customers with them and they love them. They wanted a little fast car that's zippy. They're standard transmissions. They got a good Honda engine. Those are excellent vehicles. If you want a small, quick vehicle that handles well and lasts, get one of those. They're not giving them away. I had one customer who bought a used one. He had to go the whole way to Colorado to find one he could buy because they're hard to find. Freddie Reyes, and he says, Scotty, I have an 04 G35. The steering is hard, but it doesn't have any leaks. What could it be? On those, if you don't have any leaks and the steering's hard, it's almost always the power steering pump. The pump builds up a lot of pressure, sends the pressure to the rack, and that pressure makes it easy for you to push. On those, almost always when I change the pump, it fixes a problem like that. Now, if your rack is going out, it could also be hard to steer. Kicker, that is, the racks cost a small fortune. The pumps are a lot cheaper and a lot easier to replace. If you don't have any leaks and you got a problem, the first thing to do is put another pump on that. I've fixed lots of them that way. Mixboy318 says, hey Scotty, what do you think of a 2013 Ford Fusion 1.6 EcoBoost with 120,000 miles? I wouldn't buy one with that kind of mileage on it. It's a tiny little engine and it's got gasoline direct injection and turbocharger. All that stuff wears the engine out faster, makes it rev higher, pushes more pressure inside the engine. I wouldn't buy one at that. Now, I mean, if you could get a standard transmission one and it was dirt cheap and you want kind of a toy, you could go ahead, but I would not pay much money for it. And they don't make them anymore either. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.